How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today we're going to talk with Conor Kenny about the crypto market. We're going to be talking about what to do with $1,000 today if you're just coming into the market for the first time. We're going to be going over what's happening in the market now, whether we think there could be a dump. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this one. I'm also going to leave a link to Conor's channel. Definitely go check him out. Make sure you follow, subscribe to him. He makes a lot of money in crypto. There's also a link down there to Margex in case you want to trade cryptocurrencies on leverage. There is a link underneath the video that gives you a deposit bonus. This isn't right for everyone, but in a bull market, you can make a good amount of money from this. There's also a link down there to HGAlgo, which can help you with trading. It shows bullish and bearish momentum signals. It compiles a lot of different information into just one signal. So that way you can see, okay, there's bullish momentum. You buy 52,000. Now it's up at 66. Of course, always do due diligence outside of this. This is just a signal. It's not supposed to tell you to go do anything, but you can take it into account and make a good amount of money. But with no further ado, let's get Conor in here right now. Conor, thanks for coming on the channel. Let me ask you, I know that we have some different thoughts on this, but what do you think about the market right now? Do you think we're heading towards a crash, or do you think we pumped to all-time highs?
I'm back. I'm back on Sam's channel. Hi, Mum. Hi, Dad. I'm finally made it. But I mean, I'm very excited. I'm sure you can tell by my my hilarious joke just then. I am very concerned with the market right now. My portfolio is performing very well. The market is insane. We just hit 66,200, as I can see here. Maybe it's higher, maybe it's lower, but I'm very concerned. I think we are very much due a correction. I think that everyone is far too bullish. And when people are this bullish, when people are, it's bullish to an arrogant level that I'm seeing from essentially anyone that I'm talking to, including myself. I'm super bullish. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I think we probably will break 69K before we pull that, just because nobody thought that was going to happen, right? And, you know, whatever is going to create the most max pain in the moment, which will be people sitting on the sidelines. But yeah, I think any other time that I've seen this level of excitement, passion, denial that we could ever even have a minimal pullback, it makes me very worried. I know this time is different with the ETF. I know that's all things that are here, and we have all these reasons. And, you know, the net new buyers of the market are institutions. And I know all of this, but when is it ever the time that everyone is right? Please tell me that.
Yeah, that's fair. I do think from what I've seen, there are some people that are still bearish. Like, I've seen, you know, the Peter Schiffs of the world, the Jim Cramers, even some people that are Bitcoin bullish long term, like Gareth Soloway. I don't know if you ever watch his channel, but he will talk about shorting Bitcoin and how he's shorting more as we go up. But it is interesting because I know that you've seen this on the back end, like views are going up, people are tuning back in. I do think we have some anchoring or some, what's it called, bias just based on what's happened in the past. Like last cycle, we had X number of viewers. This cycle will probably have more because there are more people interested in crypto. More people are buying, you know, whoever couldn't buy before, but now is buying through a BlackRock ETF. They might start watching some Bitcoin videos or something. So I do think we're anchored to that a little bit, what happened in the last cycles. But yeah, it is interesting with so many people so excited. Our bags are at all-time highs. Bitcoin's breaking all-time highs in all different currencies. I don't know. I think that honestly, if you're still looking to buy in, like if you haven't bought any allocation, I think you maybe mentioned this in one of your last videos. It's probably not the worst time to buy. Now, I say that because we're not even at all-time highs. And even if you bought last cycle at the new all-time high of 20K, you still made a 3.5x towards the top. Even if you didn't time it perfectly, but you took some profits at 2x or something, you still made money. But could we see a drop? Definitely possible. Who knows short term. It is interesting though, because every little dip gets bought up by the ETFs. Like we see after the ETFs were approved, obviously we had some dumping of GBTC, but after that happened, like we went up to 51K and then 53K, and then we went down to 51, and then we giga pumped up to 57, up to 62, 63. We went down to 60, and then right back up to 66 now. So like every little bit is being bought up, and we don't know who's buying right now. Like it's very it's very possible that we have sovereign wealth funds that Qatar is buying, or some countries buying, that has unlimited money from either oil or just because they're printing their own money. And we don't know when they'll stop. I think Mr. 100 did slow down his buying. Like the one of the biggest wallets in the world was buying over 1,000 Bitcoin a day last week. In the last 3 days, they haven't really bought anything. But I mean, there still are a lot of institutions that are talking about buying Bitcoin for the first time or allowing their clients to buy it. I think it was Goldman Sachs last week that said that. There's some banks that are doing that too. A lot of RIAs or financial advisors are still trying to get approval to allow their investors to buy it. So it is difficult because there are people like you that think that maybe we will see a dip. So that necessarily means that maybe we don't see that same dip because maybe max pain is up from here. And I also like to look at max benefit. Like everyone talks about max pain, like when do the most people get liquidated? But like so many people were thinking that BlackRock was just going to come in and just dump the market. Like they were just going to sell. They bought Bitcoin and they were just going to dump it or short it to hell. But like the upside for them destroying Bitcoin is very small, right? They make, I don't know, $100 billion, $10 billion, but the benefit from it going up is so much higher. So like the max benefit is to the upside. They make, if Bitcoin goes up and 3x's, they make 3 times the fees without any more inflows. And there will be more people buying in, and then they can show that they had a great performance in this asset and more inflows come in. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm not really looking to sell, like thinking that we're gonna dump from here. But also I might take some profits on some longs and some more risky stuff that I've been getting into recently. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. There's no Bitcoin left on the OTC. I don't know if you saw those tweets of like people saying there's 40 Bitcoin left.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the reason why we're absolutely going parabolic right now, and it makes perfect sense. The only way we're going to get the Bitcoin back on the OTC desk is if people start to sell, and who knows if they're going to do that. Listen, this time is different. That's all I have for you. Like, all I have is the notion in my head that every time we think this time is different, it's not, and that's it. You know what I mean? So I honestly just have no idea. And we've made a lot of money in this market from buying in fear and selling in euphoria. And now it is euphoric. There is no arguing it. Again, we've talked about this before. The market stays irrational longer than we can stay liquid. And there's just no way to know. My best piece of advice to myself, not to anyone else, but to myself, is slowly pulling out some profit never hurt me or hurt anyone ever. Do you know what I mean? Dunking everything right now, nuking my whole portfolio now. We actually had a conversation on the phone about 3 or 4 days ago where I said to you, Sam, should I just sell everything that I have access to? Should I just get rid of it all? And then that way I can just buy new stuff. I can buy stuff on the market that I like, and then I'll take profits from that if we go parabolic, but it's like a new like chunk of money. Do you know what I mean? But if I had done that 4 days ago, I would have lost out on a load of money. So yeah. I don't know, but the best thing for me is to just be making sure that I'm consistently paying attention to what's happening, staying ahead of my emotions, and taking a little bit of profits here and there. I did take some profits from Bitcoin. I did, however, circle that into Ethereum because I think Ethereum's going to pump. But got to stay ahead of the game somehow.
Yeah. Have you seen Mark Moss before?
No,
on
never.
YouTube? Okay. He has maybe 500,000 subscribers, pretty well thought of. I think he's been in the crypto space for a long time. He's like I think he might even be an institutional investor. Like he's pretty successful. And he did a video about how Bitcoin could hit $43 billion, $43 billion per coin. Which we're getting higher and higher estimates. But it was an interesting video because he was talking about basically if Bitcoin pulls this much from different markets, right? Like if Bitcoin is value, if Bitcoin's the new store of value and real estate's a store of value, jewelry, art, like 10% from each of those markets, how much does that push up Bitcoin? I don't necessarily think that that's going to happen, but it is interesting to think about if there's a 0.1% chance of Bitcoin hitting $1 billion. Like, okay, if you multiply 0.1% times $1 billion, like what does that value out at? So it is interesting. There are like people that are ultra bullish like that. I even saw Fidelity. I made a video on this. Fidelity said that like their head of macro said that Bitcoin could hit $1 billion. This is 3 years ago. He published an article talking about Metcalfe's law and how Bitcoin could hit $1 billion. So if you're looking for a title, a flashy title to get people in to watch this, like Fidelity head of macro said that Bitcoin was going to hit or could hit $1 billion. It is interesting to think about like just the numbers behind it, how the math works. Do I think we ever hit that? Not necessarily. I don't know if we pull 30% from global real estate or anything like that anytime soon. But that's the kind of stuff that gets people pumped up to get them to keep on buying. That's the kind of moon math that when we're at 200K Bitcoin, people will be like, oh, well, we could very well hit 600K. And that's our exit liquidity, in my opinion, if you are looking to take profits.
Totally, 100%.
Yeah. So what are you looking at right now? Like, are there certain tokens that you're interested in? Are you doing all leverage positions? What are you taking profits?
I am trying to find the best possible opportunities in the market when they arise while erring on the side of caution. I'm not buying on a day like today because this is when emotions get strong. 66K. There is a not zero possibility that by the time I wake up tomorrow morning, we hit 69K. Do you know what I mean? Like it could happen. We hit all the all-time highs, but that doesn't mean necessarily that I'm going to be buying Bitcoin today, buying Ethereum today, that sort of stuff. Just because I've been buying this whole time. I've been buying so much. Like both of us have been making videos each and every day. It's fascinating to see the commenters come back and try and call us out. Oh, these stupid moon boys only making videos when the market's going up, blah blah. Like, excuse me, I've been here every single day for the last 2 years, and I actually have the receipts to prove it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like fine, you can think that, but yeah, on a day like today, and in general, I'm not a net buyer today, but like I said, I do think we're going to get a little bit of a shake up here, and I think we're going to get some opportunities. I do still look at altcoins, early stage altcoins, pre-sales, different new opportunities. I speak about this on my channel all the time. There's smaller things that we've been buying that have done incredibly well recently, and meme coins especially, we can see those, and finding out these new narratives, placing little buckets here and there to see if we can make some money. But overall, big purchases, I'm on the sidelines now for big market orders at the moment.
Now, you made a lot of your money. I know you don't like to talk about, but you made a lot of money on SafeMoon last cycle. But you approached it the right way. You got in before people. You said you're going to sell. You took profits. Then it dumped afterwards. But you weren't the one dumping it. It did pretty well for a little bit after that. Obviously, like you made a good amount of cash. I think you said that you made maybe 20x on that investment. And we've made more than that before. But what do you think is like that next opportunity that people get behind where maybe it does do 20x, 100x, and then it like changes how we even approach crypto? Because SafeMoon had its buy and sell tax, which was brand new for the time. What do you think?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch the question.
Yeah. What do you think is that next crypto, or what do you think that will be that next narrative that kind of changes, and maybe there's like a whole set of new tokens that are kind of geared to try to follow it up that are very similar, like the Safe Moons, the something Moons, the Safe Rockets, whatever.
It's very hard to call that before we see it without obviously we got the meme coins and we got the meme coin niches, the Pepe niche of coins, the Inu niche of coins, the Moon niche of coins. It's very hard to pick that. I would say one of the most bullish areas that I am trying to, I'm hunting every day for private investments or as many investments I can make in the BRC20 narrative. I think that melds two worlds together. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. I'm also very bullish on the price action of altcoins, and having that all in one place on the Bitcoin network is something that I'm very interested in. And utility projects around that, I think, will do very well. They're not meme coins, so it's not like you could still do 100x, 200x, whatever it is on them, but we're not going to get the same sort of intensity that we had on those. But yeah, calling what the next SafeMoon narrative, I couldn't do it, but I am trying to find them and I am trying to get into them early. And we have got a couple on the channel right now that may very well do those sorts of market caps. So tune in.
Yeah, so definitely, go follow Conor if you're not doing it already. Now, obviously, we own some of these tokens. Like we talk about tokens we buy because we like them. Like, why would we talk about something that we don't like, that we don't think will do well? So, just in full disclosure, we're probably talking about cryptos that we like today. Do you want to name drop any of those BRC20 to maybe help people skip through some crappy ones? Of course, they have to do their own research too, but any ones you want to drop?
Yesterday I bought ORNJ, Orange token. I think that's cool. I think that they're like a utility project around BRC20. I was a private investor, early stage investor in that, and I bought more on the open market yesterday. That's up, I think, 20 or 30% today. So I'm very happy with that investment. There's a new one coming called BFI that's launching on 8 Terminal. There was another one. What was the other one? Oh, SAVM, the most hated crypto in the space. That's now back up to a $50 million market cap. And more so with projects like that is that's a thing to watch out for. Watch out for how hated something is. We saw a very similar thing play out for XRP. We saw a very similar thing play out for Luna Classic, obviously for various, very different reasons. But pay attention to the coins that are hated the most on the market, because look at SAVM. Whatever opinion you have on that, just look at it. And people still get angry. They still say they were mad because it was a pump and dump. How can it be a pump and dump if it's now a $50 million market cap? It doesn't make any sense. Like, yes, the price went up and the price went down, but if you bought it early, we have people in, like me and Sam are part of HGAaccess. This is a private community that anyone who's watching this has access to. You then get access to what we're looking at in the market as investors, as influencers, all of that. We have people in that group who managed to get into SAVM on launch, make an absolute killing, take profits, and if they want to buy again, they could have bought when the bear market of that coin hit, and now they would be, it's $3 over on MEXC at one point, $2 I think it went to as low, and now what is it, $8 or something like that? I don't know exactly, but this is the opportunity. If you play your cards right, you gotta remove your emotion from the space. This is what I learned from SafeMoon. I was against SafeMoon. I was against meme coins. But I learned from my mistake of having any emotion attached. If there's people hanging out and it's pumping, why am I going to ignore that? So
yeah. I mean, even Solana, right? Going into the last bear market, or in the depth of the bear market, people hated it. Now it's up 15x. It's one of the best performing cryptos of the top 100. And yeah, I know some people were up, like, did 10x's on it around $8 or $9. They'd be up 150x right now. Like, I've seen it on Twitter, obviously. So yeah, there's definitely possibilities when people hate something a lot, but it's not going to be dead like the FTT token where like the underlying company is collapsing.
FTT,
easy 10x
cryptocurrency.
Like,
isn't it up at like $2 or something?
Yeah. Like, even
I shorted it on the way down. Yeah.
Yeah, we were together. Remember, we were we were hanging out.
Yeah, so obviously lots of opportunities. We're still buying, but it's not like the bear market where we're dumping into like the top 10 cryptos necessarily like we were back then. Now it's the time to go dumpster diving a little bit more, dive through new cryptos because they'll take liquidity away. It is interesting to look at like the top 10 cryptos, top 20, like what's chain like $20 max. It was at 50. If it 3x's or 5x's from the previous all-time high, like a lot of these cryptos still might have a 5-10x in them that are still in the top 20 or top 30. And it's not like crazy to think that. That's just if they go up and Bitcoin hits 150 and they hit an equivalent amount, like compared to the old all-time high. So yeah, there's still a lot of juice left in the tank. It's just always a question of, do we take a 30% drop first? Because I think even though you think that might happen, I don't think either of us are sitting here thinking, oh no, Bitcoin's going to top out at 70K this cycle. It's just a question of how do we get to where we're going to go, right? Yeah. Okay. So we talked about the tokens. We're talking about what the market's at right now. Let's say you came into the market right now, because we are seeing new people come into the market. They want to know, is it too late to buy Bitcoin? And then, if they want to build a portfolio outside of Bitcoin as well, like what would you be looking at, or what would you be thinking about?
Easy. So I would let's say your investment amount is $1,000. just buy some of the crypto that you like, put 10% of what you were going to buy into it today, wait until tomorrow, see if we continue, and buy some more then, and then just spread it out over, let's say, the next couple of weeks, your buys. That's what I would do. Okay, so I would jump onto CoinMarketCap. I would have a look at the top 100 coins. I would buy some Bitcoin. I would buy some Ethereum. I would probably buy a little bit of Solana, a little bit of Cardano, some Dogecoin and Shiba for my meme coin sort of exposure. I like Polkadot. I think Polkadot hasn't had its run yet, so I'd buy some of that. Maybe a little bit of ICP, very strong community behind that. And those are the bigger caps, you know, ICP, the smallest one there at 6 billion. And then if we scroll down to lower caps, I'd probably have exposure to Casper, to Injective, to maybe Render for the GPU sharing idea. There's a lot of excitement around that. And Say and Sui, those sorts of projects, all of these around $1 to $3 billion market cap, all have opportunity for 10x, maybe even more than that. Maybe C or Sui become the next Cardano. Then we've got, you know, 20, 30x's there, $1,000 into $30,000. Incredible moves, right? And then from there, I'm not going to go into the degen realm too much, but you want to find some small caps, some absolutely tiny miniature caps, you know, between 0 and 500 million. So you can also, and then let's say 100 million to 500 million, that sort of range, and then take a couple of dollars here and there, go on the Solana ecosystem, learn how it works, go on to Injective, learn how it works, go into Optimism, learn how it works, and buy some crappy meme coins, buy some nonsense. Buy some nonsense with $5. I don't say to do that on Ethereum because the gas fees today are $130, but buy some nonsense. Go on Twitter, see what people are talking about, and buy up some nonsense with like $5. All right, relax. And then maybe one of those goes 100x. You get your taste for the 100x. You start to learn how to find these sorts of coins. But majority of the portfolio, dollar cost averaging into larger cap coins that have the ability to 5 to 20, 30x. And then a little bit of that portfolio for degening. That's how I would do it.
Yeah. I think there are stages, and I'm working out maybe a video on how people should go about investing in crypto for the first time. Like, I know some people come in and they get super bullish on Bitcoin. They see it go up and they're like, I want to put like 10% of my net worth, or like 90% of my net worth. If you're worth like $5,000, maybe you're like, well, I have a couple grand in cash. I want to put it all in there. But honestly, like, people should probably start with maybe a percentage of their net worth, so that way they can like ease into it. Especially because like a lot of wealthy people don't have that much liquid.
100%.
Yeah,
like people just want to put so much money in, and it's just like, you just don't need to.
Yeah, like, you're gonna make mistakes if you do that, because you're gonna put too much in and then freak out and then sell, and then it's gonna go back up, and then you think, well, it's gonna fall back down, and then it never does. All right, Conor, thanks for coming on the channel. Again, you can check out him underneath the video. I'll put a link to his channel so you can see future videos from him. I appreciate it. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.